Hello, my friends. Today we're learning Baba Basra Daf Kuf Aleph. In yesterday's Shir, I was saying about the Sheva Ma'amadot that it says Hevel Avalim 7 times. So really it says it only 5 times, but twice says Avalim. Avalim is Melashon Rabim, so it means 2. So it comes out 7 times together. Okay, we're going to solve the Mishnah Daf Kuf Amud Beis. So someone, Reuven sold Shimon a place to do a kever as a grave. Or his friend gave him a space and told him you could build over here a kever. So back in the days when they'd have a kever, they wouldn't do like today, you'd bury on the ground one next to each other and each kever separately. You'd have a whole family place where you bury yourself, your wife, your kids, the whole family together. It would be like a tunnel, like a cave, and you'd build, and now we're going to see in the Mishnah the way you do it. So the cave inside, the size is 4 ames on 6 ames. And in such a cave, you put 8 kuchin. Kuchin is where you actually put the body. So to understand this a little bit better, it's good to look in the pictures in Daf Kuf Aleph or Aleph in the Rashbam. So you have the clear picture where you have a tunnel that's 4 and 8, and then it has 3 kuchim on each side and 2 at the end. The Mishnah explains this. Shloisha mikan, on the length of 4 ames you put 3 kuchim. V'shloisha mikan, another 3 in the opposites, we have 6. V'shnayim mikanegdom, on opposite the entrance, another 2. So that's a total of 8. The kuchin, how big is the kuchin where you put in the actual body? Orkon, the length is 4 amos, 4 ames, the length of a body. The roimon, the height is sheva, it means 7 tfachim. So the Gemara Mishnah Kuf Aleph. The rochbon and the wide, shisho, that's a amo is 6 tfachim. So that's the Tanakama. Rab Shimon argues, he says, oise toicha shemora 6 amos al shmoina. The cave is bigger, it's 6 on 8, not 4 on 6, it's 6 on 8. And in there you make 13 places to bury people. Arba mikan, 4 on the length of the 8 amis, Arba mikan on the opposite side, V'shloisha mikinekdom, and 3 on the wall of 6 amis opposite the entrance. Ve'echod mimina pesach, ve'echod mina smoil. And 1 from the right and 1 from the left, and the Gemara is going to explain exactly where. And now this goes on both, also on Tanakama and also on Rab Shimon, that you do a petach, like an entranceway on the entrance of the cave. Sheish al sheish, the size 6 on 6. What do you need it for? Kimloya mita, a place to put the mita. The kovrea, and the people who are carrying it to bury him. Now, so we said before that you do a cave 6, the Tanakama holds 6 on 4 with 8 kuchin. So we say now we're adding on that you do a double one like that, a chotza in between, and then on each side a cave with 8 kvarim. That's shitas Tanakama. Achas mikan v'achas mikan. And then the other sides are empty. Rab Shimon who said that you do 13 in each tunnel says arba la'arba. It's basically a chotza in between, in the middle, and then each side of that, 4 sides of it, you have a tunnel, and in each tunnel you have 13 kvarim. Rab Shimon Gamliel that Rab Shimon Gamliel says, how could you tell us a certain fixed amount? Depends what type of rock. If you're building it by the beach where it's sand, you can't build so many kuchin because it's going to fall in. And if you have a very hard rock, you could build more kuchin because you only need a smaller wall between each kuch. So therefore, Rab Shimon Gamliel says, depends where you're building, how much kvarim you need to do. And the svara of Rab Shimon Gamliel is the most logical svara. Says the Gemara, Ani trei leicha shadilu. So in Shittas Rab Shimon, we said he did 4 on one side, 4 on the other side, 3 opposite, and two at the entrance. So we don't really understand where he put it. Ile baroi, if you put it into the chotza, komichi lahu, he makes it. It's komichi lahu. It makes it kodesh, and therefore
that they trample
and
it says over here that people would trample over it when they go in the courtyard, the entrance. They would walk over it.
Okay, so Shai here, the rabbi in Kuchin of the synagogue over here, is helping me very nicely of him to things I don't understand. So he explained the komichilu means that they'll step on it. When people come in and Bishleim, so Lefir Reb Shimon, you have Kvarim all over. So maybe you go on top of the other Kvarim. We're not too bothered because you're just going over to get to the Chotzer. But if you're standing in the Chotzer and you're standing there and you're going to be there for a while, it's not Kovadik, or you're going to stand on top of Kvarim. The two, and even if you're going to tell me that it doesn't bother you that you step on it, Hotnan, it said in the Mishnah, Chotzer Kever, someone who stands in the Chotzer Kever and he got in there on a hot air balloon or on type of in a cupboard or something that's all closed, so he doesn't get tumah coming from the outside, and he gets into Chotzer Kever, it says Oimid B'toich Torah is not Tomeh. And if you were saying that you bury there two people, for sure he gets Tomeh. What do you mean? He's on top of a keva. It doesn't mean that you put them lying down in the chotzer of the keva. You make a hole in the ground that's wide 6 tfachim and 7 tfachim height, and you dig it deep into the ground, and it's like you bury the person standing up type of thing. Practic more, that's so. Rabbi Yochanan said, to bury someone like into a hole, not lying down, that's like how you bury a donkey. That's not a way you bury a human. It's not the right way. So says the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan, that to bury into a hole is not bakovadik. The way you do it, the ovid lo bekeren zovis. So the way the Rashbam learned, bekeren zovis means not literally when you come into the tunnel, into the cave. It's at the end of the cave. We have 4 on each side and 3 opposite the entrance. So between the 4 and the 3 on every corner, on the corner you make a kuchen, you make it to the corner, like in the first picture in the Rashbam over here. The ones on the corner, they touch the 4th one on each side, and they touch the first one of the 3 on each side, and they connected. How are you going to do it that way? You do it on different levels, on different heights, because the height of the cave is at least 4 amas high. So you do it on a different level. You don't do it on the same height. So the 4 and the 3 are all on the same level. But the ones on the corner, you do it higher or lower.
It says ma'amik is, and you do some of them deeper.
Oh.
So the beginning, they're on the same level, but let's say one will be really the amma or 2 amot, and the one is deeper. And
therefore it won't touch.
Yeah.
Okay,
so you put them in each of them deeper.
So Shai is saying here they do the corner ones deeper in, more than 4 amas, and therefore they don't touch each other. If you're not going to say this way, Arba ma'aris Reb Shimon echi ovid lahu or konaki kuchen la'adodi, Lefi Reb Shimon, who says you do 4 caves on each side of the chotzer, and on each cave you have 4 on each side. So if you look at the picture base in the Rashbam, or if you look at the picture on Amud Aleph, you see that they overlap each other. How are you going to do that? They go in each other's in. So the Gemara, b'mamik, it must be b'mamik, it must be that you do it the way I understood it means, on a different level. One you do a meter high and one you do a meter 50 high, and therefore they don't touch each other. The way you explain that means mamik, that it's deeper, it doesn't really help you.
It does, because they're not, meaning if what would be the problem that you'd have all the burials right next to each other, one next to the other. Now if you put one of them deeper, so then it starts after the other ones. They're not in one place, it's a separate place.
I see, and then you put one in, and then you put the other one in. Okay. So the Gemara, ochinami b'mamik, also here you make it different levels or deeper. Rav Huna Breder of Yeshua Arba Maris Rab Shimon de Ovid Lehu Ki Cherusa. So let's just go a second on the Shakra Vitari over here to understand. So the Gemara said, in the corner ones it's b'mamik, and I'll bring you a raya because Lefi Rab Shimon anyway you chayav to do b'mamik, otherwise it makes no sense. So comes Rav Huna Breder of Yeshua, he says no, really there's no raya from Rab Shimon. It could be the one of Rab Shimon, you don't do them all straight or connected to the wall, you do them like a palm tree. So if you look at picture number Gimel on the Rashbam, you can understand that they do it all slanty, each one a bit away from each other, and therefore you could fit them all in and without them overlapping each other, and therefore there's no raya that is mamik. And that the Gemara says, V'hoder Rav Huna B'der Rav Shua, this word of Rav Huna, the son of Rav Shua, said, Barusui, it's not true. And the Gemara is going to calculate it. Mechdi, let's see. Kol amsa berubua, when you have a square amma, If you look from one corner to the other corner, that means in a slant, not on the straight way. Let's say you have a square. So from here is here amma, from here is here amma, from here on here, it's longer. How much longer is it? Says the Gemara. Mechti, kol arba amosa b'ibro, each square amma, amsa b'trei chumshi belachsoina. The slant of it is the length of an amma and 2/5. Kama have lehu. So let's calculate over here, Lefi Rab Shimon, that the length of each cave is 8 amas long. So 8 amas on 8 amas. When you want to take 8 amas and add on each amma another 2/5, it comes out chatzrei v'chumsha. It comes out they have 11 amma and 1/5. Kuchen can I have? How many kuchen do you have Lefi Rab Shimon in 2 caves on each side? Tamnia 8. Tamnia bechatzrei v'chumsha echem ashkachas lo. How could you fit 8 amas? That each one, that means 8 kuchen in 11 and on 1/5. It won't fit because each kuch has an amma in between the kuch. So in 11.1/5, you can't fit in 8 kuchin. It doesn't make no sense. And therefore, what Rabbi Huna, the son of Rabbi Shua, does not make sense. Eloi must be Hoder Rav Huna, brother of Shua Barusi. So the Gemara, if you want to tell me another teretz, and you want to tell me that it's not talking about where he's mamik, I'll tell you another way how you could learn the Mishnah. Omar Rav Shisha, brother of Idi, like Rav Shisha, the son of Rav Idi, explained later on about something else. Benifli, the part of this kvarim that you do are for nefalim. That means babies who are stillborn. So for babies who are stillborn, you need to make a much smaller, not as deep as 4 amas, because it's a baby, it's tiny, and therefore. Therefore, we could explain that the corner ones that we were explaining to Reb Shimon, the number 11, number 12 and 13, and also the ones overlapping from cave to cave, those ones are small ones, are much shorter than 4 amas, and therefore they don't touch each other, and therefore they could easily fit in 13 kuchin in each cave. 8 kuchin, yeah, 8 kuchin, and then 3 at the edge.
There's no room in 11 for 8, so in that area.
No, but that's what we're coming to answer. We're coming to answer the Rashbam is learning that we're not trying to answer that kasha. Another way of understanding one teretz is to explain that it's b'mamik, you do it deeper or different levels, the way we learned. And the other teretz is that it's much smaller ones because you're doing it for babies that are stillborn, and therefore you can make it small, and therefore they're not overlapping. Thank you very much, and thank you, Shai, for joining me for the shir today. I wish you'd always come and enjoy, and we should all have a very blessed week. Thank you very much. Shana Tova.